It's a very hot July day here in the centre of England. I'm not going to do any weapons training today. It's just too hot for me and, more importantly, hot for horses. So I'm going to go for a ride on Talos through the woods. The woods are, I think, noticeably colder, but we will see when we get there. Just being in the shade, though, reduces the temperature from, well, around sort of 37 degrees centigrade to much more manageable 25-26 degrees centigrade when you're not in the direct sunshine. Let's see how that goes. We have to be very careful not to do too much overheating work, especially with an enormous horse like Talos, who's half shire, half Andalusian, which makes him a Kingslander. He's a very rare type of horse, actually. His size means he overheats quite dramatically. He's definitely not built for speed, he's built for strength. We want to be careful with our horsey colleagues. Good boy. You can see in the background, good boy, some bales of hay, which are going to be the food. His food in the winter. Right now, I don't think anybody's very hungry. Good boy, let's go into the woods. Come on, good lad. It is significantly cooler in the woods, which is rather nice. Just the amount of leaf cover makes the atmosphere very, very pleasant indeed. I think it's probably dropped about 10 degrees. Still warm. You wouldn't want to do too much hard work if you could avoid it, but it is delightful. So tree cover and vegetation dramatically reduces the amount of heat that hits the ground for human life, or animal life for that matter. Plant more trees and you reduce the albedo of the earth, absorb more energy, absorb more carbon dioxide, and quite frankly, make a more pleasant environment to walk in on a hot summer's day. Most woodland was heavily managed in the medieval period, and of course the enclosures, the idea of the English countryside that is hedges and small fields, was a post-medieval invention, change in the landscape, which caused quite a lot of controversy actually. And the Peasants' Revolt was partly stimulated by low wages and changing social landscape. But then the Enclosures Act come in much later and reduce the amount of land available for ordinary people to farm. The medieval landscape would have been very different to the English landscape we see today. There would not have been so many hedges. There were hedges, but they were typically around farms and small holdings, and designed really to keep pigs in and keep sheep in and that kind of stuff. But the main growing was done in great fields, which would be divided into strips of land, which would be, in some cases, rotated through people, and certain people would have a certain number of strips, and they would change depending on circumstances. So there was a sense of community fairness. Now, I'm not sure it was that fair, but there certainly appears to be a sense of understanding of fairness and the rules, and people were fined if they ploughed outside the land or in the wrong place, or made the bits of common land which were in between where you could get to your strip of land to do the job. If you blocked those with wood or bits and bobs of everyday detritus. So, and it still happens. There's a place called Laxton in England which still operates the 3-field rotation system, the Great Fields, and that is well worth a visit if you ever get a chance. The landscape is very different to what people expect and think of as English landscape.